Pope Francis said earlier this week that he doesn't care if someone is gay or straight as long as he has faith. And as it turns out, well, that was exactly the same stance the early Christian church took as well. A 1994 book, Same-Sex Unions in Pre-Modern Europe, which comes out as an ebook for the first time next month, says that there were gay marriages as far back as the year 100 AD. Now, author John Boswell, a deceased Catholic historian and scholar at Yale, studied dozens of records of church ceremonies where two men were joined in unions that followed the same rituals as hetero couples.
A fairly obscure ceremony in Greek lectionary called brother making, adelphopoia, and that was the kernel of the book. Because many of these manuscripts, they're obviously one of a kind, and he was fairly concerned that when word got out that he was looking at these ceremonies, that librarians, the church itself, might make them inaccessible.
In particular, at one monastery on Mount Athos. And because the monks there knew about John's work in the history of homosexuality, John was not welcomed. And so the story we heard as his graduate students was that John had actually sent one or two graduate students in his place in order to access somewhat covertly those manuscripts that he needed for that project.
So I offered to go to the monastery and film the missing pages, which I did. We got to the monastery and he explained to the head monk who I was. He knew that I was coming. And so I went in, no flash of course, took these giant books off the dusty bookshelves and photographed the pages, and John was very happy to see them when I got back.
It was a very brave book. It was an extremely scholarly and rich and impressive book. And there's no doubt that it started an avalanche. It was completely transformative.
If there's anything that he needs to be remembered, his love of the church, and what a beautiful academic that he was, and then how he changed the world.